Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name's Chantal. I'm a watercolor artist and illustrator, taking you guys along the journey of writing and illustrating my own children's book. After my art portfolio had been rejected by over 100 creative agencies, I decided to write and illustrate my very own children's book myself, because why not? 4 weeks ago, I finished page 3, and today I put the very first paint on paper for page 4. And you're wondering, Chantal, why has it taken you 4 weeks to start? Because page 4 is so beyond my current abilities, I'm afraid to start. I get a lot of people saying, Chantal does not fear the white page. I do. I fear this white page. I don't want to start because it is so technically challenging to control watercolor this size. And the challenges I have in this painting, I don't know if I'm going to be able to execute the idea. Do you know what? Let's start. This was the most difficult watercolor painting I have ever done. Not only did it not contain any of the colors that I like to paint in, it also consisted of really big washes. And if you guys have practiced watercolor before, you know how difficult it is to control, and doing it at a large scale makes it even more difficult. But you know, I love painting with lots of detail and love expanding my own comfort zone and pushing the medium beyond what it is conventionally seen as. But I knew in my heart, if I could put my mind to it, I could accomplish this piece. But for weeks I sat there and I didn't even start. And I think there are some very important lessons to be learnt about this process of this piece that I'm going to share with you guys today, about productive procrastination and how to eliminate friction in your workflow, about the journey of creating an art piece and the humanistic side to creation that we need to show the world. And lastly, acknowledging the power you have in your own journey and sticking to your own values. I am the world's biggest productive procrastinator. And I was talking with you guys as well in my comments section, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with this because I need to clean my gallery. Everything needs to be tidy. I need to have all my emails answered, all my projects done, all my dead ends finished before I start another page of my children's book, because I need all my focus on this page. So I thought being a productive procrastinator was the number one thing that was stopping me from creating. However, no, it wasn't. It was an excuse for the things and the friction that was really behind what was stopping me from creating this work. I have identified 3 points of friction that stopped me from creating this work for weeks, and we're going to talk about them because you guys might feel exactly the same. But first, we have to uncover another point of procrastination in my life. As someone who sits in really awkward positions for long periods of time, I've recently realized the necessity to work out and stretch my body every morning, and that's where today's sponsor, Trainwell, comes into play. Trainwell is an app that links you with a personal trainer that designs workouts specifically for your goals. I hopped on a call with Selena, and after telling her about my challenges of staying consistent with a workout practice and having motivation to even start in the morning, she was able to create a plan for me that went over my goals specifically and something that was very doable. I also told her that I run about 3 times a week, 2 kilometers, so she also took that into consideration to give me a little bit of variation in my workout routine. And on the days that I do work out, I have so much more energy throughout the day and I can stay a lot focused. So with Trainwell's features, their customized workout plans, their daily little check-ins, I'm going to be able to craft the discipline to actually stick to a workout routine. And if you guys would like to try out their 14-day free trial and have a call with a personal trainer, you can find the link in my description. The first point of friction that I identified is my skill set, and I feel like every single artist can relate to this no matter where they are in their journey. There are pieces and paintings that come up that you don't feel fully equipped for, and this page was one of those. I'm a point in my artistic journey where I feel very confident in my skills, and if I have an idea, I instantly think to myself, yep, I can execute that now. It didn't always used to be that way, and I didn't always feel confident in my skills with watercolor and being able to bring my visions to reality, but I do now. But this piece had me, and I was like, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to paint the lighting the way I want it, because the lighting is coming up from the fire and being able to reflect that on Adina's face and the mood in the entire painting is very, very difficult. So that was the number one thing that stopped me from creating in the first place. However, I realized that I'm not going to be able to evolve my skills unless I paint this piece, and I might already have these skills within me. However, I'm never going to know unless I try. This, I have just finished painting Adina, and this is the most difficult painting I have ever done. What this painting requires of me is just a little bit beyond my current skill level with watercolor. It's very technical, challenging. It's very difficult to capture the lighting, and it's hard to see that what I want to create, I can't with my current skill set, and yet I know I can. I know that I have the ability to paint what I want. I can do it, and I know that, and I have confidence in that, but it's hard. The other point of friction that I found in my workflow was the self-doubt I had in my skill set, because I believed that I didn't have the technique and the skills with watercolor to complete this page. I had inflicted a lot of self-doubt in my mindset and whether I was really capable enough of delivering this page up to the standards of page 1, 2, and 3. And this self-doubt led on to the third point of friction, in that I am such a perfectionist and I set extremely high standards for myself. And this was really hard to come to terms with, understanding that not every single piece is going to be perfection and like the others, which leads on to the second lesson I learned, and that is that this journey is so humanized and so personal. Guys, I'm actually very disappointed with myself and how long it's taken me to start this painting, because it looks absolutely fire. Pun intended, because there's a fire. But yeah, you know what? If I can pull this off, this painting will be insanity. Like top tier, creme de la creme, creme de la creme, creme de la creme, creme de la creme de la creme, a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like the technical skill. I'm tired already. Anyway, we're gonna paint a lot today, and I think I'm only gonna need one more painting session after this one, because it is very technically challenging, but there's not a lot of tiny little fiddly details. So let's get into it. I talked about this issue recently in my past episodes, how my skills are going to evolve drastically as I continue working on this book, and the very first page is going to look different from the very last page, because obviously the very last page has 39 pages of skill in it, you know what I mean? And so I was like, how on earth I'm going to keep my art style the same over the next year to paint this book in the same art style? And you guys said, Chantal, that is the beauty of art. That is the beauty of this story, is that not only do we get to read the story about Adina and Star and how she evolves in this book as a character, but we also see how you evolve as an artist in this story. And I think that's what makes this journey so special, is because it shows my evolution and my journey as an artist alongside the evolution and journey of Adina. And I know that the growth is not going to be linear. It's going to have different stages. Some pages are going to be absolute masterpieces and I'm going to love painting, and other pieces I'm going to really struggle with, maybe because of the skill set or the subject matter or the colors that I'm using. And so you get an insight to my own personality and disposition and characteristic as an artist with every illustration, and it illustrates my own journey, and that is what makes it so special, because this is what Adina and her star is all about. It's about reconnecting to your dreams and your passion and your purpose, and that's what makes this book so special, because I can quite literally see it as I illustrate. Hey guys, I just want to say that I am doing an absolutely exceptional job at productively procrastinating this artwork. I was meant to work on it all day today, and this morning I got in the gallery, had an idea for a new series I want to start on Instagram Reels and like TikTok, and so I literally spent the last 3 hours filming and editing and putting that reel together. I'm like, yeah, this is genius. If that reel doesn't do well, you know what, it was fun experimenting, and I was like, you know what, I have time to do this. I need the experimentation, I need the creativity to put this film together. No, Chantal, you were meant to illustrate this page. Anyway, YouTube is holding me accountable because I need to finish this 4th page of my children's book by the end of this week, by Friday, because I need to edit the video together and I need to have it published next week. So yeah, we actually do need to finish it, but it's so difficult. It's so hard. It hurts my brain. My brain doesn't want to do this because I don't like it. Let's talk a little bit about watercolor painting for a second, guys, because I didn't film the entire process of creating the sand at the bottom. It has around 3 layers, so I first started with just a big wash, and that left a lot of streaks from my brushes. So over the top of that, I created another wash, and I kind of used a little bit more water, put a little bit more orange into that wash, and then on top of that wash I did little divots of dark shadows and then pulled just wet water through those shadows to create kind of where the light of the fire was reflecting on the sand. And then I decided that inside the fire pit needed to match the sand outside, so I did another wash, but altogether I think the sand has like 3 or 4 washes. And it was very difficult because I was like, do I make it just white and blue? But then I knew that would contrast with the blue of the ocean, so I had to make it more of like a yellow sandy beach in the dark time, because we have to set the mood and the fire, and trying to make the fire reflect on the sand was another difficulty in itself, but we got there. Hello, my butter muffins. I think I'm going to finish this page today. And honestly, it didn't take me that long to actually finish it. I just procrastinated so much because it's so difficult. And honestly, the hardest thing we still have to do, which is the big washes. I have to do the big wash of the ocean, and I have to do the big gradient of the sky, which is more complicated because it's a big gradient and it's like lots of different colors very smoothly going from one to the next. And then I'll probably wait for it to dry overnight and put the last details, little fine details and touches tomorrow, and then we'll be finished. I'm so excited. One of the biggest things that I am learning in this journey as I continue to share each page and continue to share each art is the importance of staying true to myself, my beliefs, and of course my own story and what I want to do with it, because with a lot of exposure comes a lot of opinions, and I don't have a problem with listening to critique or taking on other people's advice, but sometimes I just need to stick to what I know I'm doing, and that can be really hard, especially with lots of people just voicing the exact same opinion to you, and you're like, guys, you don't see what I see, you don't know what I know. And sometimes that's really hard because I forget that when I'm sharing these pages, you guys have no idea what the script is, you have no idea what the words say alongside the painting. So should I trust someone else's opinion on what's happening here more than my own when I know everything? It's hard to find a balance between taking on advice but also knowing that you have the ultimate say and the ultimate opinion because you know exactly how you've designed it in your head. I think it's also very important to stay true to yourself and exactly how you envision the story to evolve. But yeah, that's what I'm currently working on. Hey guys, we are currently moving along very steady, putting the little details in. I am, yes, very much procrastinating the sky because it's going to be very difficult and I don't know if I'm capable of doing it. However, I did pick you guys up for another reason. You guys know how I very much dislike creating for the algorithm. I had some secret intel, some little know from my friends. By the way, friends, when I say friends, if we follow each other back on social media, we are friends, and I will be calling you my friend in all and every conversation. Period. Anyway, Instagram is coming out with new storytelling features. They did a little update with so many more features, and I have a suspicion. I have a sneaky feeling, just based on what my friends are posting, who get sponsorships from Instagram. We're entering the era on all social media platforms, maybe not TikTok, the era of storytelling. It's my time to shine. I have been here. Remember when the era, it's still kind of going on at the moment but I don't see it that often actually, where you post a 5 to 7 second video on Instagram and it's read the caption for the info. Ugh, get me out of there. Disgusting. I hate those. If I wanted to read an essay, I would have stayed in university. I came on this app to watch a video, do the hard work and explain to me what you're trying to tell me in the caption in video format. I'm lazy. I'm not reading that. As soon as that comes up on my Instagram, I scroll. Bye-bye. See you later. But new intel, I've been told that we're entering the era of long-form content more on social media. Yes. 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 As someone who puts very hard work into their little videos, I'm here because apparently it's the filmmaking era, which means I have to get better at filmmaking because I'm not a filmmaker. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Instagram has in the future, but the new features are all about storytelling and filmmaking to an extent. Interesting, which is what I've seen on YouTube as well. I've seen more YouTube content. Maybe it's because I just follow filmmakers, but I feel you have to do more to some extent. whilst also keeping it like raw and authentic. Bruh. They want everything from us, apparently. Anyway, guys, we have to do the sky now. I've procrastinated enough. Like, it's gonna be so difficult. We got this. Let's do the sky, all right? Guys, I have never been so stressed working on a painting my entire life. Like, this was the biggest watercolor wash that I've ever had to do. And I was like, how do I go about going around Adina's head here? Because every time I've used masking fluid or tape, it bleeds underneath it or it rips the whole watercolor piece off. So I was like, you know what? We can't afford to do that, especially with her face. Like, there's no way I'm painting that again. That was stressful enough. So stressful, in fact, that I didn't even film the process of doing it. So I was like, you know what, we're going to freehand this big wash. And I was like, you know what, I think the more water, the better. So I put like a good layer of water on this. It wasn't just beading with water, she was soaked in water. And then on top of that, I did the colors washes. I completely freehanded this. I completely experimented on the page, which is not something that I usually do, especially when it is a lot at stake. But I just worked by doing the first colors at the bottom, bringing them to the middle where they would blend. And then I started at the very top with the blue, and then I saw that it was getting patchy, so I was like, we need more blue. This entire wash was done in probably 10-15 minutes because you have to work really fast before the watercolor dries, because if it dries, you're not going to be able to blend. This is it, guys. It's not a detailed page, which is fine because the page next to it, page 3, is very detailed. So yeah, this is what she looked like. I did do a little bit of editing or digitally, but you know what? Look at me eat. Look at me eat. Literally eating. I've learnt so much working on this page, more than any other painting. I think that's what makes it beautiful. I think that's what makes it special. I think that is what makes it human. And that's what makes it a story. I'll see you all for page 5.